What is up, everybody? This is Ben coming at you with another crypto update, and I'm here on HBAR. Like and subscribe if you would, please, on my YouTube. That helps me get this video out to more people and kind of give a different perspective on things. Not so much hype and downer and the world is ending and the world is going to the moon. It's kind of just what's going on right now and just the facts on the charts. So if you would like and subscribe, help me grow that channel. That would be great. But I want to start here with HBAR. And we had some action last night, and there's a couple of things I want to point out. I tweeted this out earlier today on these steps, and this isn't meant to just follow my arrows perfectly. It was more just to show you the steps that kind of need to happen for this uptrend to continue. And the moral of the story is we have to have some lower high breaks in order for this to happen. And this goes across the board. So this doesn't just have to be with HBAR. This can be with any of your alts. And it's with Bitcoin as well. But at some point, we have to break some lower highs, some previous lower highs. And there's a lot of them. We've been doing nothing but putting in lower highs now for I don't know how long. It's been a while. And so in order for continuation up, these lower highs have to be broken. And you can see there's a lot of them all the way back up, and they go even further back up into here. So it's a step at a time, to make that happen. And our first real one that we need to look at is right here. And it's about at 30.5 cents. And that's what I'm watching on HBAR, is if it can get there. And there's kind of 3 steps for it to get there. And the first one is just breaking 28 cents and then coming back down to recheck it and holding it as support. And it's kind of doing that right now. I would have liked to have seen it do it with a little more gumption, a little more oomph. But it has come above it, and we have come back down, and it's held, and now we're on another candle. So that's kind of done it. Volume looks pretty good. We are coming, down a little bit just right now on volume, if you can see that. So volume is declining a bit, but we're still okay. It's not like we're in this world where we had basically no volume for a very long time. For a couple days there. It's pretty boring. We do have some volume coming in. I'd like to see some big candles every once in a while to kind of push us into these new areas. But yeah, it looks like we're breaking through 28. That was a hard nut to crack for sure for HBAR, and we're kind of holding it now. So I'd like to see this come up and test this lower high. I really would. Around 30 cents, 30.5 cents, and I would expect it not to blow right through. I'd expect it to come back down and check one of these local highs here, wherever that ends up being, and then gaining some more steam, and then eventually actually having a lower high break with a retest. And that's, step 1, 2, and 3, but that's all kind of step 1. There's 3 steps in one here, and there's a lot. We got a long ways. We got a long journey here. But if we can start getting some upward movement, then this stuff picks up, when it goes quicker each time. But we've got to have some type of break of a lower high. It hasn't happened for days. I could probably even say for weeks, honestly. All the way back to April 14th, April 13th, and we are the 26th. So yeah, a couple weeks now before we've actually had a lower high break. So it's working on it, but that's step 1. That's HBAR. Another thing to really point out is the correlation between these Bitcoin dips that happened, and this is good news for alts in general and for HBAR. This was that first dip that happened with Bitcoin, and that dip went down to about let's just look. That dip went down to like 47.5 ish. And then the second dip that happened, which was last night, it went down into the 46s. So Bitcoin actually went lower in price than it did here. But look at the difference in HBAR. It didn't go nearly as low as the last dip. And so this is the relative strength that I've been talking about, and that is actually is starting to kind of build up. Um, as this goes on, you'll start to see that it doesn't really care what Bitcoin does. It's just going to keep growing. That's alt season. That's what we're all waiting on. But this is a significant sign here, that we dipped to here on the first dip, and then the second dip was there. So where does that mean the next dip happens? If it does happen, do we only come down into here? And that's definitely a possibility if we continue up. So this is good news for HBAR. This is a significant change from the last time that Bitcoin dumped. It means there's buyers here, and we held. We actually held the very bottom of this giant channel, which is kind of cool how that came into play as well. You can see what MA am I on here? The 100. Yeah, you can see the 100 is flattening out, and if we could get this thing to flatten out and start to come up, that would be pretty huge over the next few days. So yeah, things are looking good. RSI is resetting. It was getting a bit oversold here, and we had this drop in consolidation, which allowed this to kind of come down and reset a bit, but this is just on the hourly, so it's fine. I want to jump over to Bitcoin just to point out a couple things and how they correlate with what's going on and with your alts. Let's jump to the daily real quick. Oops, reset that. So here we are. Look at this candle, man. That thing is a thing of beauty there, especially on the daily. So this has a little less than an hour to close. If this thing could close with a full body, that would be pretty huge for Bitcoin. If there's some shenanigans that happen at the end of the day and this thing closes down below 52, I would be concerned that this was no other than just kind of a mercy bounce, and then we're going to continue down to where I still think is a possibility, down to like the 618 area and wicking down and through this yellow line, but it may not. Here's why. This is the RSI down here. We were so close to being into an oversold position on the daily. So you can look at this tool and use it for a lot of things. And what the heck? Sorry. And it's a good indicator of kind of what's to come, and what's going on. And we can be oversold and overbought on the hourly all the time. That happens all the time because it's on the hourly chart, right? So the higher the time frame, the more significant this stuff is. And there are a lot of people were waiting on this thing to go oversold on the daily, because if you look back, the last time that we went oversold on the daily was way back here. It was over a year ago actually, when Bitcoin was at like what, $8,000, and then it went into this dump mode here. That was like the whole COVID thing. It dumped down to into the $3,500 range just a year ago. Can you imagine? And then because of that, this is what grew out of that. So again, we haven't seen this level of RSI this low on the daily for over a year. It got close here. And when it got close here, what did we see from it? A very big reaction, right? So it's not that we can't have a big reaction from it here, because look at it here. I mean, this move right here, we were way up here. We were already overbought on the daily, and we still moved up into here. This is the Elon candle, by the way, that I like to call. So that's why people were really wanting to see this go into oversold on the daily, but it was oversold on the hourly, on the 4 hour, on the 6 hour. I think even on the 12 hour it was oversold, and so maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough to make our next move up, and for this thing to be a real reversal, and start putting in higher highs on this run, higher highs and higher lows. But the way that happens is we have to break previous lower highs. Until we start breaking some of these things, it's just another lower high, at this point, even now. So there's a lot of work to be done here for Bitcoin. There's a lot of work to be done for the alts, but this is the beginning. This is the beginning of what a reversal could look like. And we just watch the levels and see what happens. Like I've said before, we're in observation mode, especially on Bitcoin, because it is still in control, but alts are gaining some strength, and we can see that from this last dip. Bitcoin, like I said, went lower on this dip than it did on this one, and you can see how much higher HBAR held than here. So there is some significant strength building here, which is great. You can't complain at all about Ben's buy zone, because we have been living in it for the past few days. You've had plenty of chances to buy here and even below. I have taken all the chances I can get to buy even below, and we'll just see what happens, observe, and that's what we can do. There's no reason to stress about it. Watch these steps. Like I said, we have 3 little steps here, but this is all really step 1, and all it is us breaking this past previous lower high here, and kind of saying, hey, we're still in the game, we're coming back up, and we're going to start putting in higher highs on this run and higher lows on this run, and continuing to break lower highs from the previous run down. So that's all I got for you. I hope this helps. Like I said, like and subscribe, and ask me questions if you have any. I enjoy the comments as well. Help me retweet the videos. I'm trying to grow this channel so people can have just another perspective to listen to. Not any kind of hype or anything like that, just pointing out things on the charts, and hopefully help you guys calm down if you're a bit stressed about it. Our amount of money can't change what this thing's going to do. So all we can do is observe and then make decisions from that. And as long as we know what levels to watch for, then we should be in pretty good shape. So keep an eye on your levels here. Keep an eye on the levels on Bitcoin. Watch your RSI levels as well. And we'll see what happens. If Bitcoin can push up and break up through 55, I think that would be pretty significant. That's kind of its last lower high here on the hourly. So breaking 55 is a big deal for Bitcoin, and would help the alts continue as well. I tend to think it's going to hit 55 and come back down, probably to the 52 zone range, which is right around our green line here. So we'll just wait and see and observe and watch. I would not be concerned with this at all. I'd only be concerned if we break through 52 significantly and start to break down back into the low 50s and 40s. If it gets to that point, then I think we're probably coming back to check this fib level again. And like we've said before, the more times we hit a level, the more holes we put in it, the weaker it gets. And then who knows, maybe we get that one more dump down. But there's no way of knowing. And if anybody tells you that they know, they don't know. So I'm telling you that I don't know. I'm just watching the charts. I'm seeing stuff like these Bollinger Bands getting tight, so a move's going to be coming here soon. Will we break up through 55, or will we come back down and check 52? That's what we're looking for, because that will affect our precious HBAR here and other altcoins that we're in. All right, so hopefully that helps out. Don't stress out. Go have a good day. Spend some time with your family. And yeah, peace out. I'll see you next time.